Petula Manboard. Manby's bus was from Darliston. Pete Manboard used to come to school with us, and Pete used to drive the bus at times. Pete Manboard is Petula's brother. Manby's bus, if you got to take it, you were late. If you were going to Unity School, you were going to get beaten. And if you were going to Manning School, you were going to get detention. The bus hailed from Darliston, came down the Whitton Hill, down to Galloway, Petersfield, Hartford, Amity, Stratbogie, Chantilly, Dunbar's River, and into Savlamar. That's how we got to school. That is who Petula Manboard is. Thank me later. And as always, like and subscribe and send to a friend. Laters. Hi, this is Roger Smith of the True Blue Lounge, and I have today a 1982 graduate, Petula Manboard. Petula, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Roger. Good to link you, man, after all these years.
Nice, nice. You know, this week's been really hard for us.
Yes.
Especially, I mean, it's hard obviously if you're suffering, but when you're in the diaspora, you feel so helpless. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
So, you know, whereabouts is your family from, and how did they fare with respect to the Hurricane Melissa?
So we're from the hills of Westmoreland, and I still have my family home there with two siblings and their family living in that location. Plus, I have another sibling. Well, I have other siblings actually. One is in Seaford Town. His home was totally demolished. And then Pete, my older brother, he is also in the area, but not in the family home with the other siblings.
Okay, and you're gonna have to tell us the area, you know, because not
Yes,
everyone
so
knows.
the area is Darliston, and all of those kids who used to ride on the Man B buses, that's where we hail from in Westmoreland. The buses used to traverse the parish of Westmoreland from the hills of Darliston down to the plains of Saplamar, Grangeville, and all that.
Nice. You know, I remember it really well, and I'll tell you this much: when when we got Manboard, we knew we were late. So if you're going to Unity, you were gonna get
We were,
beaten. But when
yeah, we
Manboard
were,
come, you were late.
yeah.
Was that by design, by the way?
It was not by design, but it was the only means of transportation to get people out of the hills. So no matter how early we started, we were picking up how many miles out of town. I mean, have you ever been on that side, Roger? I mean,
Yes.
way up in the hills above White House and that.
I know a
Yeah.
little place called Lennox Bigwoods.
Yes, even further than that.
Okay, okay,
So the
wow.
buses had to go all around those places, pick up children going to Manning School and other passengers to go all the
Okay,
way to
okay.
South.
Well, hey, I'm really pleased that you agreed to do this. It's just meant to be fun. There's a lot of people that went to school with us that may have not heard from you in 45 years. And it's really good as we no longer compete for spouses and jobs and university positions, but we are look about Ben Gay and rubbing alcohol and blood pressure and diabetes pills. So we're all on a nice playing field, if you know what I mean. So
What
it's
are
all
you
good.
talking about? I haven't lived 45 years, Roger. What are you talking
No, no,
about?
no. Well, you know, it's really funny. But a lot of the people them that I talked to back at school, that's how long I haven't set my eyes on them. If you know what I mean.
I know.
Yeah.
45 years. When you say it like that, it sounds really
Yeah.
long.
Yes, 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 yes. All right. So how did you? So did you take Manboard to school every morning?
I took it to school most mornings, yes.
And that was Unity School as well.
Unity School. When we got to Manning's, there was like a smaller bus called Silver Bird. We used to take that one too. It was a someone else who was running that route.
Okay, okay. So tell me a little bit about Unity. Let's go back there. What lessons class
Wow.
were you in? Whose lessons class?
Miss Dobson's lessons class, of course.
Okay. She
I mean,
used to
all the bright children were in Miss Dobson's lessons class, right?
I know a young lady called Charmaine Malcolm. She was probably from the hills. Nigel Myrie, Brian Wallace. I'm talking about the people in mind. Peter James. There were a lot of bright sparks in on the
And
Miss
Charmaine,
Cox one. Yeah.
Charmaine, Charmaine Malcolm was the daughter of the principal of Darlington High School, Darlington Primary School. I doubt she went to Unity, but she ended up at Manning's.
Uh-huh. She was,
Yeah.
yeah, she was bright, and there was another young lady that was always up there. Her name Sharon McIntosh, I think her name was. So when you go to school, especially first and second form, you always remember the kids because for some reason they used to grade us and put the top kids at the top and put the bottom kids. It was just weird the way it was done. There was no heart at all.
I
Wow.
know, I know. But all the kids, I mean, remember when we went to first form at Manning's, all the children from our lessons class went to first form with us. So we
Yes.
were like just transferring schools. They all came over.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. So tell me something. So let me go through the cognitive part of my test because I need to know if you're still there. Because sometimes after a while, if play chess or play words with friends, you lose it. So
Yes.
name what do you remember your first form class?
1G.
Name 5 boys and 5 girls from that class.
That's a lot for an old lady.
All right, go with 3 then. We don't want to stress you out.
We had Derek Hardin in 1G,
Uh huh.
Ronald Garvey.
Uh huh.
Dude, I can't remember anymore.
Wow. What about
um,
girls?
girls, well, the girls, we had Diana Daly,
Uh huh.
Donna Gopal, Dawn Petgrave. I think I'm not sure she started first on with us, but she was in the G stream with us. Um, Maybe Vinette Malahoo.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Um, who else? Claudette Cuthbert, Claudette something. Played netball. I can't remember.
Oh
I'm
wow.
trying to remember.
This is not. This is live. This is exactly what I want. It makes me feel good. When a man like me can name the whole class. You know what I mean?
Oh no,
That's
you can't. Oh no, you
yes, I
cannot.
can. I can. I really can.
What first one were you in?
I think I was in one. I think it was 1H.
There
It
you go. You
started.
can't
It
remember.
started with H, but I remember everybody in the class. Trust me.
Start to tell us something because I'd like to remember.
Brian Young, Brian Wallace, Peter James, Kenneth Banahan, Winston Knott,
Okay, I get your point.
Donald Rankin. You want me to go on? Yeah.
No,
Adrian Hall. All right. So
I think Angela Sigri was in my class too.
Dwight
Um,
Tate, Nigel Myrie. You
oh
want more?
wow.
And that was just the
No,
guys.
stop.
We can't give you all the girls as well. All right. Do you use a Mac or a Windows computer?
I have a Mac.
Okay, Mac. And if you were being taken out for a meal, what if in Jamaica, what sort of restaurant would you want to go? And in America, what sort of restaurant would you want to go? And what are you looking for to eat?
Oh, I'm a surf and turf girl. I mean, anything, any steak, any lobster. I mean, Jamaica had a lot of seafood and we grew up eating tons of the stuff. So.
So same sort of cuisine, Jamaica and US.
Basically, well, in Jamaica we used to do a lot of Chinese. Those are readily available and nice. So we did that. In the US, basically some steakhouse somewhere.
Okay. Do you cook yourself?
I do and I bake.
So what is your go-to meal If you were to go in the kitchen and just say, I'm going to throw down something, what are you going to throw down?
Curry chicken is the easiest thing to cook, especially when you have children.
Okay. With white rice or with flour?
With white rice, the quickest thing when you get home in the evenings as a mom is just cook up some of that.
When you're looking for a significant other, are you
Mhm.
looking for a provider and protector or you want an equal?
Uh, I was looking for my dad.
Was he a provider
I,
and protector?
he was a provider, protector, and he was just the chillest dude. He'd let my mom have her own way.
You see, the problem with that is when your father is Superman
I
and you
tell
get a
you,
mere mortal,
I
you
tell
can't
you,
appreciate the mere mortal because
I
he
tell you, it
he
was
may even just
difficult.
wash up the plate them for you and he may be doing something really nice and you just can't appreciate it. Wow.
No, my dad was one of a kind.
But I think it's really good for women, girls to have their fathers obviously in the home, just so that they can, there's a bar set on what I should be, how I should be treated. I love to
Yeah,
see fathers nowadays when they take their little daughters out for a meal and treat them like a princess, like, sit them down, no matter how young, 12, 13, but you take your daughter out for a real nice meal and let her know this is how, you set the bar, you get me?
yeah, the cutest thing, man.
Yep, yep, yep. So, tell me about a job that you've done that you really didn't like, Petula.
Mm. Um, a job that I've done. Well, I mean, when I got here to the US, I started doing some work from home stuff that I mean, I really never really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm,
But you had to pay the bills. So I mean, working from home on a telephone set is one of the hardest thing people can do. It is so regimental,
mm-hmm,
and you can't get up from your phone, and you these calls keep coming in constantly. There is no break. It's really hard, difficult to do a call center job.
mm-hmm. It's nice that you've done it. A lot of people don't realize. You see, these
Yes.
first jobs, they shape you. The
They
best.
do, the discipline they instill in you.
Yeah, it's like having a real bad boss. When you have a really bad boss, when you get a good one, you appreciate it. You know what I mean? Because you
You
know what it
too.
was. It was really like. So, lunchtime at Manning School. Where are you going for lunch and what are you eating?
Um, so I think it depends on the phase. At one point, we all used to go to Hurry Hurry and buy that bowl of soup. You remember that one?
Yeah, I keep on hearing
Or
everybody talks about it.
or then there was one time when there was Road Runner and we would go buy a burger or go to the canteen buy a patty. I mean, stuff like that depends on the phase of your school life. Don't ask me what phase I did what. I don't remember.
Okay, okay. It's very funny that everybody has a similar sort of lunch story. You know what I mean? Um, when you came home from school and your mother prepared a meal, what were you looking for the most, and what was your worst meal when you went home?
Soup. I never liked soup at home, but I had it. It's the strangest thing. When they cook soup at home, I didn't want it,
Wow, I
but
love
we
soup.
could have it for lunch. Yeah. So whenever my parents cook soup, like on a Saturday, I mean, we would complain bitterly.
Wow. So, what about something that you really enjoyed? If you're coming home from school and you came home to this, it was your go-to. You like?
When I used to go to school, I was really skinny because I never really liked food. I mean, but you could always give me chicken and rice and peas. That would get me. I mean, I'd eat as much of that as I could, I guess.
Okay, okay. So, since graduating in 1982, tell us where you are now and how you got from your graduation ball to where you are now.
And I never even attended my graduation ball. I was not allowed. However,
Why? Why? Why was that?
Because I'm from a strict Christian family, and my mother never believed that we should do the excess partying thing. So, I was not allowed. My church never believed in that kind of partying anyway. So,
Well, you better give a shout out to the church and your strict mother, please. What was the church and where was it?
my church is the Holiness Christian Church denomination, which I still attend today. And I can say that we have grown. I mean, with the advent of modern thinkers, we have grown in our understanding of the gospel and the things that were expected from our religious piety. We have grown in how we interpret those things from the Bible.
Well, before we go down that road, because I'm going to ask you specific questions on your faith. So, how did you get from where you are now, and from Jamaica?
So after I left school, I worked at American Airlines for a couple of years, and then my family insisted that I should go study. So I went to England and I did 3 years. And of course, I felt I was being forced to go study. So I never wanted to stay. So as soon as I finished and I got the paper, I gave it to them and I left. Came back to Jamaica and then I went back to American Airlines to get my old job back, and happily they gave it to me. So I stayed, I worked in Montego Bay, American Airlines, after I came back from school for about 5 years, and got married, transferred to Kingston where I started my family. Worked in Kingston at American Airlines for 9 years. And then they
When you
had
say
a
sorry,
bio.
when you say started your family, we're talking about more
Yes.
than one child.
Yes, I have two children.
Okay, two. Okay, just making sure. I wouldn't want them to be coming on the comments saying how my mother no recognize me. But go ahead. Sorry.
Right. So then after that, there was the opportunity to take, some sort of retirement package. I took it. And then I started doing other things that were really fulfilling. I worked in an NGO providing services for underserved youth. I worked in a government project where we built infrastructure for underserved communities. And then I worked um all kind of other stuff. I ended up working at the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, for PATH, where we issued, those checks that people get from the government to help.
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. So you've done quite a few jobs. That's nice. And what's nice is that some of them are fulfilling jobs, meaning it's helping people. The NGO stuff
Right.
and whatever. Cool, cool. So, would you say Manning's helped to shape you a lot, or anything, or is it more family and environment?
I think everything had a hand in my upbringing. When I was at Manning's, I had a teacher. Her name was Bernice Ranglin. She taught me biology. Does anybody ever talk about Miss Ranglin?
No, I haven't heard it.
Right. Well, she was very influential in my life, and in fact, when she started teaching us biology was when I started appreciating how to express myself, because she taught us really how to write. And she was the one who so she thought I like computers, and American Airlines was employing heart trust people to do computers because they had computers. It had nothing to do with computer.
Right.
But anyway, she got me that first placement at American Airlines because she kind of knew me and knew what I wanted to do. So from there, so Manning's, mm, when you're at high school, you kind of listen to your peers and what they want to do. You want to do. You kind of follow, the courses they pick. So I chose to do science at Manning's, and I ended up going to college. My first college, I did business. And then my second college, I did theology. So I'm not sure how much Manning prepared me for those shifts in my life.
Yeah.
But it's a poopery of stuff that has made my character.
I think that when I think of Mannings, I think if you go down the straight arts academia route, or you go straight sciences to become, whether a civil, mechanical, electrical engineer type, I can understand that, and I can understand the doctor, lawyer stuff. But I think we lost so many people because not everyone is going to be bright at the same time and peak at that time. Some people peak later, and I don't
Yeah,
think we had interest. So if you were very technical or you could build things, there was nothing for you to really get your teeth into. You know what I mean?
it
So
is true.
yeah, so I think, but then it's a third world country school. What do you expect?
Yeah. It did come with a lot of third world baggage because it was like what they called a grammar school, and they never appreciated the technical stuff. Do you remember like when we did electrical installation or something in third form when they had you doing all the subjects,
Yes.
and that electrical installation room had nothing.
Yeah. But it was, but I loved the class because I so badly wanted to do it. You know what I mean?
Well, I had no interest in it, and it
Yeah.
had
No.
no
Yeah. Yeah. We,
interest
we had no.
for me.
We had no equipment or nothing. It was just pure.
We
Yeah.
had
No.
exactly. And then I don't think we had the best teachers in those kind of subjects. We had good grammar teachers, we had good science teachers, we had good art teachers, but when it came on to technical stuff, I don't think we had the best.
Well,
And
I think Mr. Nita done his best because what you have to think about is, I don't think he had a pick of saying, "This is a good technology guy. This is a good,
yeah,
your art
yeah.
teacher might have to do a little English, and
That
and
is
then
true.
and then manage
That's true.
the Costa Cup as well. So
That is true.
there was a lot going on then. Let me ask you this strict the church business that you alluded to earlier, why you couldn't get to put on your nice little blue frock and go down to Savlamar and enjoy a little time with your heartthrob at the time. You know what I mean?
I
Back in the day.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
How do you feel about how strict your mother and father was, and would you do the same to a daughter in the same situation, knowing what you know now?
I certainly would not do that to my daughter, but I had two boys and they both went to their proms. And in fact, I mean, I met the ladies that they were taking out, and it was lovely for them. My parents did the best they could, and being grown in the church did not give them much trust in how teenagers behaved in the regular culture. So, that just shut it down for all of us. They did the same thing to my brothers. They banned them from going to their graduation parties and stuff, but my brothers still went. I mean, they would sneak out the house and do what they wanted to do anyway. My parents would not have known any better.
That's good.
But
Men will be men. We have to sometimes we have to buck the system.
I know. And then my brothers were driving, so I mean they would sneak out any vehicle in the yard and go about your business
Go on,
and come
Pete.
back.
All right.
Yeah.
So, with that said, are you a Christian, and how does your religion help you in your life?
So I am a Christian, and my faith is everything to me. I mean, even though um even though my upbringing was curbed by parents and all of that, I still felt my own convictions. And even as far back as in high school, I felt a deeper conviction to be to do more in my faith. And so I was called to ministry after I studied and came back. I decided I was going to do a degree in theology. And from there, I mean, it was no turning back. I became a minister in my church and ended up in all kind of church leadership and stuff. So,
Beautiful, beautiful. So, if you were in the market to find a man in your life and he didn't share this love or appreciation for one of the gods, how would you feel about that? Do you ever think that he could get close enough to you if he didn't share in your view?
um, so uh, there has to be some commonality, especially when you're choosing partners. And so I would choose a person who has an understanding of the faith that I have and had similar convictions. So that's how that would work for me.
Okay. And what if he was a really, really nice man? Hey, I'm not making it easy. What if he was a really, really nice man, but just didn't believe in the man in the fish's belly for 7 days or whatever, parting of the water into wine, man a walk upon water. If he just didn't buy all of that stuff, would you give him a chance?
You see, Roger, my conviction is what the Bible teaches is the truth. And anybody who does not embrace that truth, I really feel called to explain it to them, basically. So, romantically, I could not be involved with a person who don't believe in God the way I see him, the way I appreciate him. But I could always befriend any person, depend it doesn't matter what they believe, you know? Because I see it as my calling to explain to people I love the truth of the matter. And I think it's also my responsibility, if I love you, to share what I believe is the truth, because eventually we're all going to have to account for this truth.
Wow, wow, wow. That's a you've drawn a line there.
Well, listen, how old are we now?
60. Anyway, with that said, do you want to be buried or cremated?
Well, for a long time I thought that I wanted to be cremated. And I've asked my pastor about, the cremation thing. When I really should be doing a study on as to whether, cremation is, I don't think it matters what happens to me when my body dies. Because my soul is gonna be in heaven. I don't really care.
So when we die, what do you think happens to us?
We go to heaven or not.
And how does that work?
Well, the Bible says, absent from the body, present with the Lord. If you already know Jesus Christ and He lives in your heart, then you have an eternal destiny with Him. If you don't know Jesus Christ, then um, wow. You see, we all have that choice to make. Almighty God recognized that when human beings sinned, He had to reconcile us to Him. And so he made the ultimate sacrifice to send his son to die for us. Now we have to do something with what God has done for us. We have to make a decision to accept or not to accept. And if we do not accept his son and the sacrifice that he made for us, then, you know, and that's what troubles me, because I would like to tell everybody about this sacrifice from a loving God that he has reached out to us.
So I'm going to hell head first. If I saw that.
Well, you see, you have the thing about it is that you have time. You have enough time to say, you have enough time to embrace Him. You do. So, God doesn't cut us off. That's why He gives us the spirit of grace so that we can reflect and come to Him.
Okay. Tell me something. When you think of the future, are you hopeful?
Oh, Jesus, very hopeful.
And what have you learned more about yourself as you've got older, would you say?
Oh, I've learned that old age is painful for the physical body. No, but I think that there's a lot that I have in me that I'd like to impart. I'd like to teach. I'd like to bring up my grandchildren when I get them. I have none right now. And I just want to give back. I want to sow into young people's lives. I want to do it with the technology. I mean, I would like to be involved with the computer stuff that the children are involved in. I'm not afraid of the technology. I can make a website or not. Can. So it fills me with possibilities. There's just so, this stage of our existence in humanity. I mean, when you talk about the exponential increase in knowledge, is amazing. Oh my God. I mean, what AI does is unbelievable. The fact that we know so much and can get so much done is just it's just mind blowing. There's just no end. It's just unlimited possibilities.
When you have a really low moment, how do you get yourself up?
I pray
And that works for you?
all the time. I
Okay.
pray, I read my Bible, I meditate, I get religious music, I bawl my eyes out to God, and His Holy Spirit comforts me.
Petula, you're out there, you know that. You're deep.
Well, I don't know, but I have been pursued by the Holy Spirit from I was a child, and I cannot escape Him. So even there was a time when I was working, and I guess during my so-called rebellious years. So when I was a young person out of my parents' home, and they couldn't stop me from going to parties, and they couldn't stop me from having the friends I wanted to have, and I was renting my own place, and I was making my own money, and I was free to do what I want. I had friends, and I did the partying thing, but there's this call that the Holy Spirit, that God makes on a person, and He is inescapable. So even if you run, and even if you do things you have disappointed Him about, He still tugs your heart, and you just come face to face with Him, and you surrender. When I surrender to God, then I feel much freer than when I was trying to hide from Him, and hide the stuff that I was doing from Him.
Okay. I have two more questions for you.
Okay.
What do you do in your spare time?
All right. So in my spare time, I watch stuff on YouTube.
Okay, cool. And do you pay for YouTube or do you get the adverts?
Oh, I get adverts.
Okay. When you were at American Airlines, was Janet Smith working there?
In Janet Smith at American,
Yeah.
don't remember. Wasn't she at Air Jamaica?
Oh, could be. I thought she was
I,
American.
I think she was there at Air Jamaica in Montego Bay, right?
Yes, could be.
Yeah.
And my last question for you is let me frame it. Um, if you were to go back and speak to a 16-year-old Petula Manboard, just leave in school, did you leave at fifth form or sixth form?
Oh no, I went to sixth form.
So when you left school, what would you tell yourself if you could go back and talk to yourself?
Mm. If I could go back and talk to myself. One of the things that I regretted about Manning's was the lack of investment in career counseling. I mean, because we were like all over the place picking stuff, and we didn't even know what we were interested in or what skills we could use. And so I would say to my 16-year-old self, do some more research on what you want to do in life. I I mean, I've done so many different things. I'm wondering if I had stayed focused on one true path, like those persons who were really driven, if that would have made a difference to my life. I really don't know. Because the satisfaction I've had from the career that I've had, I don't know if I had chosen to be dogmatic about a career path, if I would have had that much satisfaction.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. You're in Florida now?
I am.
Remember the Florida annual galas this weekend, okay?
Yeah, the advent of this hurricane stuff, I think I won't be able to do that.
Well, I think it's for a good cause. I think they're adding a good cause onto it as well. And you're very local. But maybe you sure it's not religion make you can't go listen to the buff buff music?
What are you talking about? Is it
Well,
gonna
you
be
know,
good?
yeah, Creature, Paul Van Horn's playing the music. So yeah, there's gonna be secular music being played, yes?
Listen, I don't have a problem with secular music. I mean, unless the music is, explicit.
Okay.
I don't really have a problem with secular music.
Nice, nice. Hey, I have to really thank you for coming on and talking and being so authentic and real because a lot of people can't. Trust me on that. So I really thank you for doing this, Petula.
Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure linking with you again. God
Cool.
bless you, Roger.
Thank you.
All
And
right.
when you say God bless me, you really mean that?
Roger, I will pray for you from now till thy kingdom come.
All right. Thank you very much.
All
Take care of
right, my
yourself. All
brother.
right.
All right, Roger.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Petula. I just stopped recording. Thank you.
All right.